Fantastic. Thank you for coming back, Ty.
Thank you for having me again. Hope the sound works out.
Right? So
can't trust beaners for shit.
Nice. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming back. This is our second time doing this, and I really wanted to get it right. I didn't want to put something out there that was going to be shitty. So thank you for agreeing to do this again.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking
I'm
love
glad.
you. Thank you. We're here at the Ice House for the Barcast, and I want to say, first of all, thank you to Sean at the Ice House for letting us do this. This is freaking means a lot. And
I'm being paid in a headlining weekend.
You're doing what?
I said I'm being paid in a headlining weekend.
Freaking awesome.
That was the condition for me coming back.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to put in a good word. Whatever the fuck that means.
Feature spots open.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
trying to tease anything here, but feature spots open.
And you're not having a drink, and it's a Barcast, but you're not having a drink, and I respect the shit out of that. You said you have to work tonight.
Yeah, and that's the only reason. I really was planning on drinking tonight or today when we did it, but then I ended up getting booked last minute.
And listen, I respect your work ethic, bro. There's a lot of dudes that don't give a shit and they'd get loaded, and you take it serious. You take what you do serious, as you should. And I don't have to do anything later, so I'm having a couple of drinks like I always do.
Yeah.
And it's trippy because at some point I do want to get you here, Buzz, because you're a freaking animal when you're sober. As far as what you say,
I'm afraid to drink.
So when you drink, you just go like off the fucking. I can imagine you just going off the deep end.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Well, not if you're trying to have a career. It's not great.
I don't know, man. It's like when you say things that, you know what Joey Diaz said to me one time? He said, when people go to the circus, they go see the lions. They don't go see the fucking clowns. They go see the lions. He goes, you know what? The lions are fucking scary. They do scary shit, and that's why people go. He goes, you're a fucking lion. Be a fucking lion. And that was like brilliant. I just thought that was genius. And you're a fucking lion, bro. You don't give a fuck. You'll just fucking growl, and it don't matter who's in front of you. You'll tell it like it is.
Yeah, last night I had to check somebody. I did. I was at the Comedy Store, and this guy, I don't know why he thought it would be good. And he's another comic. And he, we were trying to get through the crowd and whatever else, and I'm really good at getting through crowds, but then all of a sudden my friend hit me up, like Courtney, this girl I know, like tapped me, and
right.
like, you know, I didn't get startled, but like when I saw her, I was like, hey, you know, and so we went to give each other a hug, and then he like slapped like my side and then like my shoulder, like for me to move.
Slapped it.
Yeah, and so I moved.
Not just tapped it.
It was not a hard slap, but a slap.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not like a regular tap. And so I finished hugging my friend Courtney, and then he was walking over to a crowd of people that I already know anyway. And so I just walked up, like, you know, to him right there at the crowd, and I grabbed his arm, and then everybody turned around, and he turned around too, obviously. And I was like, there's never a good reason to slap me.
Wow. Not even when you're fucking? Nice. You don't have to answer that.
The answer is no. It's still, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those. Yeah,
you're not like, a slapping in the ass kind of guy.
No, or the back scratching or any of that shit.
No, I'm not into the scratching. When people start digging nails and shit, I'm like, yo, calm the fuck down. I've had biters. Like somebody tries to bite, and like, I'm freaky and shit, but don't fucking bite me. It's like, fucking calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I had one guy that bit my lip a couple of times, and I asked him politely not to bite it, and so like maybe the third time he did it, I just grabbed him by his hair and was like, does that feel good for you? And he was just like, ah. I was just like, that's why.
What if he would have said, yeah, don't stop?
You know what? I ended up getting rid of him that night anyway.
Oh, that same night?
Yeah, because it just wasn't, you know, I don't like people biting me or anything that hurts.
No, I'm not into the whole biting thing.
I'm not into.
And it's funny because, I mean, I do like spanking and pulling hair and shit like that.
But you're the spanker and the hair puller.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not really liking spanking. You like to spank.
Yes, you're right. So do you like to spank?
I will.
You will.
Yeah, I will. But, you know.
And you know, it's freaking crazy, dude. I don't know how the conversation always turns to sex, but it's a natural freaking conversation for me to have with people to say. And this was completely innocent. It wasn't like I intended to talk to sex with you. I wanted to have a conversation about what's her name, Kim Davis over in Kentucky. the county clerk who won't sign the marriage licenses and was standing up for her religion and her beliefs, and there's a lot of people pissed off. And it's funny because when I invited you to talk about that, I like I told you the first time that we recorded this, I didn't want you to think that it was because, oh, it's a gay topic, let me talk to Ty about it. I just like talking to you because you're a fucking guy that speaks his fucking mind regardless. You know, like, you'll check people when it's time to check people.
Yeah, that thing I gotta tell you though, I'm ignorant to, like, is she, is it sort of like being a judge where they can't fire her? Is that what the deal is?
You know, I think she's more of an elected person. I think she's an elected official.
Okay.
But I don't know why they can't get fucking, because you would figure you should just get rid of this fucking
Yeah,
chick.
if you don't want to do the job and you're
Right.
not going to do it right,
Right.
then you should just be gone.
And just be done with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it just keeps fucking going and going and going, and you know, she went to jail, and that caused a fucking big old stir. And again, I want to, not to defend her, but I really believe that in her heart, she's a good human being. Because everybody's saying she's an evil bitch, but I believe that in her heart, she's doing the right thing. In her heart of hearts, she thinks she's doing the right thing, rather, which is a scary thing, which is a really scary thing when you think that hurting people and infringing on people's rights is a godly thing to do.
Yeah, but people have been doing horrible things in the name of God for a long time now.
Ever since God came around.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, but, you know, it keeps happening, you know, and, like, what I'm annoyed with right now is the Pope.
You're annoyed at the Pope.
I'm annoyed with the idea that there's still a reason to have a Pope, and that he keeps giving himself these, like, you know, where they keep, like, you know, oh, he touches people just like a regular guy. He is a regular guy.
He is a fucking regular guy,
yeah,
absolutely.
So when they try to make it seem like he's doing, it would be like if I said, don't touch me. And then a week later, I was like, I'm going to touch people. And I made it seem like I was...
Such a great human being
like,
because you're touching people.
Yeah, you made that rule.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's not what you're supposed to be anyway. And the fact that, like, you know, he wants to tell us about immigration and the poor and whatever else. Why don't we ever talk about the Catholic Church scandal and how you're restructuring for that? You know, like, why don't we talk about that?
Which scandal? They've got a shit ton of them.
Well, the one with the kids is the one most people think of. You
Yes.
know, like, it's kind of like you're restructuring NAMBLA.
Wow.
That's the way I feel about it. Like, that was a big thing, you know? Like, people forget. I fucked around with the priest before. I was already 27, but...
So does that really count, Ty? That means that you fucked with the priest.
I'm
priest
just
didn't
saying
fuck
I
with
know
you.
what they do.
Yes.
I know how they're spending that money is what I'm saying.
Did you ever see that movie Priest?
No.
It's a great fucking movie. So it's a priest who's like I guess he's like a starting off priest, and the guy that he's under is this dude that keeps fucking all these chicks in the congregation and having babies, and they just keep relocating him to different churches. And then there's a priest that comes in that he ends up working with, and the priest that's mentoring him is just fucking the chick that's helping him clean the house and shit. You see him fucking the chick, and the other priest it happens to be gay, the one that comes in. And they find out there's this big scandal because they catch him in this parking lot with some dude that he met at a gay bar, and they ask him to resign. And he's like, fuck that, I'm not going to resign. This dude's fucking everything that moves. I hooked up with one person, and now I'm asked to resign. I love this...
Dick.
I love... He didn't say I love dick. He said, I love the church as much as the next guy.
Okay.
And so I shouldn't even... And then there was a really crazy scene where the guy tells him you should just pray to have the Lord take that away from you. And in his frustration, he looks at him and he says, when you look up at the crucifix, you see your Lord and Savior. When I look at it, I see a naked man. And I was like, holy fucking balls. That's a whole nother perspective on it. It's supposed to be based on a true story, but and it touches on the whole scandal with pedophilia and how, like, there's these priests that know that because when the people come to confession, it's like it was crazy because the little girl was coming to confession thinking that she was doing something wrong with her dad touching her, and this dude wasn't saying shit. And the mom was right there, and he didn't say anything. And yeah, I have a huge problem with that.
Yeah, it's like, I just think I'm tired of the Catholic Church in a lot of ways.
Are you Catholic?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
I stopped going to church when they were doing a thing called Together in Mission.
Together in Mission.
Yeah, that's where they raise money for the less fortunate parishes. And so, that particular day I was annoyed because, like, I was going to church all the time, every Sunday. I'd go every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that time they took the time for the homily, what's supposed to be the homily or the sermon,
Yes.
as a lot of people would say. But they took that time to tell us how we could fill out credit card slips.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and so they, and I was like, I know how to fill out a credit card slip. I don't want to do a second donation. And so, like, they wasted my time talking about that. And I also was upset because, like, the one I go to is in Hollywood, and it's not, like, a nice one. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice, but, like, the people that go there aren't rich at all.
Okay.
And so you're telling people that are already poor or not doing well. The exact words that the lady said, because there was a lady saying it in English, and then that was being translated to Spanish as well. And she said, you've heard the expression, give until it hurts.
Oh.
She was like, I want you to give past the point that it hurts. And then she's telling these people that God's going to take care of them.
That's so horrible.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I really do hate that. It really bugs me.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's like horrible advice to give anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's leaving way too much to...
And that's not just the Catholic Church, though. There's a lot of churches that do the
Oh, I
same
know.
thing. Now, look, there's probably a lot of churches that do good. I'm not going to fucking disagree with that. There's probably churches that do good. But when you're broke as fuck and you show up to church and looking for a message of hope and of deliverance or whatever the case may be, the refuge that you're seeking there, the last thing you want is for them to make you feel like shit because you can't give them money in order to freaking get to heaven or have your miracle happen. If you're broke, a lot of these messages make it sound like if you're broke, you can't have a fucking miracle. Mm-hmm. And because I went to I grew up Catholic as well, and I went to a Christian church later on in life, and I mean, I was deep. I mean, I was born again. I was praying, and I was a teenager that was praying for God to take away my horniness because I didn't want to sin, which is a horrible fucking thing to do to a human being. To tell them that, I mean, aside from the money thing, but to tell a human being to deny their natural instincts because it's a sin and you're gonna go to hell because you fucked your girlfriend out of wedlock is a fucking. I thought. Now in life that I'm older and I can like look back at it, I think, how horrible was that? Because now I'm praying for my dick to get hard. I mean,
I pray for everything.
Nice.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
So you do believe in God?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe in God. I just don't believe in the Catholic Church and religion.
Yeah.
You
Religion
know.
is kind of bad. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and you give like another person, just a regular person, that much power.
Over you.
They just abuse it, like, because I called and I complained to the priest.
Okay, this is awesome.
And-
I love that you called and complained because you are the dude that calls people out.
Yeah. And so I called him and complained, and then he told me that Together in Mission was part of his idea, and like, he was one of the people that was really spearheading it. And I was like, tell the Vatican to sell something.
Ooh.
If you guys need
Wow.
money that bad, tell the Vatican to sell things. They've got things that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They've got priceless things.
Wow.
But you want us to make up for what's happening in
Was that your own thought, or did you hear some that shit mentioned somewhere? Because that's fucking
that
pretty
was
awesome.
me
That's fantastic.
Just being mad, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I stewed on it because like I called and then it took a couple days for him to call back, and so like I was annoyed that whole time and I kept replaying it in my head because I was doing exactly what you were saying. Like I wasn't trying to get rid of anything, but I was at that point like looking forward to like the word and seeing how that pertained to my life at that time, and I would do.
You
that
wanted an
every-
inspirational message.
Yeah, and so I would do that every week. So when you take up the time that I set aside for that, and Sundays can be kind of a clusterfuck for me.
Sure.
And so like when I would set aside time for that, and then I get that, and that's not happening.
Now this is in your adult life?
Yeah.
This isn't when you were like younger.
Probably maybe 5-6 years ago.
Oh wow, so that's very recent.
Yeah, and so I told him that, and then he tried to kind of talk to me like he was really, and then I had to remind him, and I did tell him in so many words. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're just a man. You're just another man.
Yes.
I don't know what you've mistaken yourself for, but right now that's what we're talking as."
I think that's freaking crazy. You know, I don't know that the conversation was going to go to religion, but since we're here, I think it's very telling that a lot of people have left the church. A lot of people have left the church. I think they say that there's more people now that don't claim any religion than at any time in history, especially in this country, where we're like, just, no, I'm not affiliated with any fucking, religion.
Well, that's why I don't really buy the new pope, even though everybody's acting so excited.
They're on his nuts. They're on the pope's nuts.
And he's just there to bring people back in. Like, that's why they're being looser. It's not like this whole change of heart the church has had. It's just, as a business, they need people back.
I see what you're saying, and that makes sense now. But now, in his defense, he's saying things that most popes and most priests or most religious people in period would never even say. Like when he's sitting there and being accepted, when he's talking about atheists are fine. If you're gay, it's fine. If you had an abortion, it's fine. He's not saying it's fine, but he's not saying we need to stop judging these people. We need to stop fucking coming down hard on them like assholes. And he's addressing the whole thing on climate change. And people are saying you got to keep that separation. But if you go back in time, you're probably too young to remember, but Pope John Paul was John Paul II was extremely instrumental in ending the Cold War. I mean, he's the one that got, the Soviet Union and the United States talking and the disarmament and very freaking instrumental in bringing down the wall in Germany. So it's not like anything is different. I mean, we had that intermediate pope that didn't really do shit. Mm-hmm. But then you've got this one really pretty much picking up where John Paul left off. You don't like him. I'm not trying to get you to like him.
I'm not buying it.
No, you don't have to. And I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it.
No,
I know
you're not. I know you're not. But they are. Like right now, like earlier today, I was at the gym and they're showing the whole and I think that every channel, just to see how not popular this is, I think every channel should give you an option where you can push a button like it used to be the SAP button, but you can push a button and it'll take you to the regular programming.
The regular programming versus we interrupt this program because the Pope is here.
Because I don't care about that, and especially to the degree that they're covering it, it's just like I don't care.
It's huge. I guess it's huge. I guess it's fucking huge.
But is it really huge? That's why I think they should give the option. That way we could see what the people are really saying. Because if you think about it, all the things that not even when it comes to religion. I remember at one point when Paris Hilton was really popular. Mm-hmm. They were this why are people so obsessed with Paris Hilton? Well, I don't really know people were ever that obsessed with
the media
Paris Hilton.
Was.
Yeah,
and it was shoved down our throat.
Yeah, and of course you're gonna watch it because it's part of whatever else you're watching.
And because of the culture, you're gonna talk about it on Twitter, you're gonna talk about it on social media, and it's gonna trend, and it's gonna seem like people are obsessed when they're just commenting on the fact that it's being shoved in their face.
Yeah, but if at that time they didn't show Paris Hilton, would there be rioting in the street? Would people really be asking what's going on with
Where's Paris Hilton?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Paris Hilton? I can't start my day without Paris Hilton, you freaking monkeys.
What's going on with Paris?
Right.
Yeah, I just, so I think...
But for some reason, people give a shit about the Pope. They really do. Granted, we're a little jaded. We're comedians. We see the world completely different. Mm-hmm. But the average human being, whether they're Catholic or not, the Pope just represents this holiness or this guy who's the guy who is the closest on the planet. Remember, my mom used to say that. He's the guy that's the closest to God on the planet. Like, he's the guy he's like God's right-hand man here. So there's God out there chilling, and then he's got this dude who's like his right-hand dude representing him right here. But that's what my mom believed, which is, I'm not saying that that's right, but there's a lot of...
If that were true, they wouldn't have to do the thing that they do to even pick the Pope.
The whole thing with the smoke and
if there's a guy out there that's that close to God, shouldn't you just know it? Should it be between these 5 guys or these 3 guys
that are debating whether they should give him?
No, that's the guy. We've all heard about him. He talks to God. He's halfway fucking crazy. Because in
He's
real
not
life,
wearing all the costumes, though.
He'd
in
be a
his
little
defense.
weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if you're talking to God, you're kind of thinking. I mean, if you're talking to God, it's one thing. But if God's talking back,
yeah.
a lot of guys would get locked up if God's talking back to
Yeah,
them. If
so
I walked out and I said, "Hey, listen," because sometimes I get high and I'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I was flying with Jesus and he told me this," and people look at me like you're fucking crazy. But what if I had a Pope outfit? And what if I'd done my time in the ministry, and all of a sudden I said that, and there was no weed involved? I just said, hey, I was meditating, I was preaching, and God talked to me, and this is what he said, guys. And I said it in a calm voice, not in a crazy voice, and I had maybe a shorter haircut, and I was wearing a freaking, little freaking whatever priest outfit. Would I be considered crazy?
Well, if you're wearing a priest outfit, no.
No. So the outfit...
You're also not considered a molester when you wear one either.
You're such a fucking
It
asshole.
works for all kinds
It
of
works
shit.
for everything.
Yeah, it gets you out of
Dude,
everything.
a freaking priest outfit is a license to do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's horrible to say. It says a lot for our society, really, that because a suit does the same thing. If you put on a suit, immediately people give you credibility.
Oh, yeah.
If I were to walk into a building wearing shorts, flip-flops, a tank top, people would look at me like, fuck this guy. But if I show up wearing a three-piece suit and my hair is nicely coiffed and I'm freaking just carrying a briefcase, people might take me more serious.
Yeah.
People judge us by appearances, which is horrible. And especially when it comes to religion. You shouldn't trust anybody until you see the substance of their character. You don't give a fuck what they're wearing.
Yeah, but you don't ever get those options with a lot of people, or that option with a lot of people. Like when it comes to like priests and stuff. Like think about like, the regular priest that you would see when you were growing up. What'd you really know about his personal life?
Nothing.
Yeah, all you know is what you see on Sunday.
And you listen to him.
Yeah.
And whatever
that's
he
it.
says is fucking gold. I don't give a shit what he tells you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't jack off.
Yeah.
Don't watch porn.
See, but
Don't
other
drink.
religions, I think you get to see more of the person, because in other religions, when they're allowed to get married and have families and stuff like that.
You get to fellowship with them.
Yeah, you get to actually see what they're really
Yeah.
like. With Catholic, they just go back to being with each other, like they have their rectory, or there's sometimes different quarters. Like I know at the church that I used to go to, they had this, what was basically looked like an apartment or apartments, and it was in the back of the church.
Do you know that I'm ordained?
I know that, yes.
I am an ordained minister.
I think you offered to marry me and my ex.
Oh, shit. You were going to get married.
Yeah.
You were all in love. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't marry
Been
you.
done for a long time. I'm glad I didn't get married.
Would you get married? It's legal now.
I know that. You said it like it was news.
Like it's
I
news.
was gonna be like,
Dude, it just fucking happened.
tell Kim
No,
Davis
but
that.
would you get married? Nice. Good callback.
There you go. No. At this point, I would not want to get married.
Nobody would sweep you off your feet?
No. Well, if I met a really old rich man.
Really?
Yeah, right.
You're
about
that
to go.
dude.
Yeah,
You're like a little old dingy little bitch.
I don't give a fuck.
Nice.
A
Rich old man.
Yeah.
Big old house
Like
gets
when I
lonely.
heard Clive Davis was, I got excited. I thought my ship had come in.
Are you fucking kidding me? You would sell out like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. And you know what? I had that opportunity. I had this chick that I was dating who inherited a shit ton of money from a really horrible circumstance. And she told me, she goes, half of this fucking money is yours. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, that's your fucking guilt money, and I'm not taking it. I'm not gonna do that. And you know, it's crazy because I was at a point where things weren't as good for me as they are today, and I couldn't do it for dough. I feel so I don't know. Not that I'm like Mr. High Road or anything like that, but I couldn't get married or even move in with somebody that I don't really give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You're
I
like,
can
fuck
learn
it.
to give a fuck.
You can learn. You can learn to. You can make him think like you care.
I can really care.
Oh. some old fuck you have nothing in common with.
See,
Come
I've
on.
already convinced you of it. You think it's gonna be hard for me to convince him?
All right, no, because you know what? I know, no.
See, I'm
There's
thinking
no
like,
doubt in my head.
oh,
You
you
could
know,
convince-
so, like-
no, you're
like-
that dude. You're that dude that can make hooking up with a priest and fucking him be funny as fuck. So
you.
if you can do that, because I've seen that bit when you talk about how you hooked up with the priest, and
Yeah.
I love that it's a true story that happened, and you turned it into comedy. To me, that's the best comedy ever when you talk about true life.
Oh yeah, I agree. But yeah, I could, I'd continue to do comedy though.
You heard it here first. This is Ty Rivera, available on. Are you on Tinder?
No.
Are you on?
I got my website, tyrivera.com.
TyRivera.com. If there's any rich dudes out there that are old as fuck and don't give, he's a cute dude. Look at him. Look at this. He works out. He's responsible. He's funny as fuck. Look at that beard. That beard is on point, and those eyebrows don't fucking bullshit. Hit him up, TyRivera.com, and throw your game at him, because he's down.
Yeah, but don't fuck around. Be really old. I need you on your way out.
What? You don't want to lie. Could you imagine you marry an 80-year-old fuck and he still lasts another 20? How crazy with it? It's like the Queen over in England. Like, how long ago did Charles think he was gonna be fucking the king?
Yeah, and then,
oh, dude, and she's still fucking around.
Yeah.
That'll happen to you. You're thinking you're gonna be king and fucking no dice. Here you
really
are, fucking
old and health problems. Let's be specific.
I fucking love you, Ty. I think you're fucking fantastic. This is a completely different conversation than we had the last time, but it was fucking awesome. Some of the shit that we talked about was pretty. We talked about Bill Cosby. We talked about fucking rape. We talked about fucking feminists. We talked about.
Yeah, when it came to the Bill Cosby thing, though, like the only thing that I wanted to clarify on that
There
is
you go.
what I didn't explain the last time was that.
And we don't have to play it, by the way.
Yeah,
So-
no, I don't mind if you play it.
Yeah.
But just like, so, I mean, like, I'm comfortable with everything I said on that. I don't mind.
Good.
But, like, just the thing that I wanted to also mention is that I've been in that position where, so I do understand how some of them kept their mouth shut for a while because, like, you have this person that, can ruin your career.
Right.
Or you're trying to start your career.
Right.
If you say anything, because I had somebody try to do that with me. And it was like on a much smaller level, and I know that people can make it difficult for you to do certain things if they're,
Yes, powerful.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm not going to ask any personal questions of how it happened or where it was, but the fact that you're sympathetic about it and that you've gone through it and lived through it, then that makes all that other statements, like, you're almost almost like an expert witness on it.
Yeah, but when it comes to the, I still stand by what I say with, you gotta watch out for yourself. At the end of the day,
You should. You're responsible for you.
Yeah,
you're
have
responsible
to watch out for yourself.
Ty Rivera, thank you so much for fucking coming on here again. The time just flew fucking by. I hope you come back and do this again. Not the same thing again, but we'll do something different when you can drink.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking fantastic to have
I'll
you here
drink
after a few
next time.
cocktails, and we'll fucking share some more stuff. Thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you to everybody at eatandscape.com. And thank you to everybody here at the Ice House. Fucking love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.